What were they thinking? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 terrible performances by otherwise great actors. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at various awful performances from actors who are generally respected and acclaimed.
I don't know if I could have kept my sanity.
Number 10, Ben Kingsley, Blood Rain.
Prepare to witness the beginning of a new era.
Ben Kingsley is easily one of the most respected actors of all time. This is the man who starred in movies like Gandhi and Schindler's List, and he's been the recipient of an Oscar, a SAG Award, and 2 Golden Globes. So what, pray tell, is he doing in a video game adaptation directed by Uwe Boll?
Kill her. Let her find the eye, or let her try, then kill her.
We can't fault Kingsley too much here, as it's hard to create a good performance under Boll's direction, but it's very clear that his heart was just not in this. We're not sure if it was money issues or what, but it's baffling to consider what made him agree to perform in this atrocity.
Excellent.
Number 9, Jesse Eisenberg, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Wow, that is a good grip. You should not pick a fight with this person.
While Batman vs. Superman turned out to be divisive, the movie has no shortage of decent performances, considering the cast includes consummate pros like Jeremy Irons, Holly Hunter, and Ben Affleck. However, Jesse Eisenberg's performance is another story entirely.
The devils don't come from hell beneath us, no. No, they come from the sky.
After receiving acclaim for films like The Squid and the Whale and Zombieland, and an Oscar nom for The Social Network, Eisenberg's inconsistent, jittery, and weird portrayal of Lex Luthor felt like a big step backwards, and was panned by both critics and audiences. The character ended up being more like a poor man's version of Heath Ledger's Joker instead of the ruthless, cunning nemesis Superman fans know and love.
God versus man. Day versus night. Son of Krypton versus Bat of Gotham.
Number 8, Natalie Portman, the Star Wars prequel trilogy.
It's beautiful, but I don't need this to remember you by.
Natalie Portman has come into her own in recent years, with fantastic performances in movies like Black Swan and Jackie. However, the Star Wars prequels were released in the early stages of her career, the first released when she was only 17, and she had yet to grow into her talents.
So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
The prequels were meant to be a heartbreaking and tragic tale about the loss of Anakin's humanity. But it's hard to care about that when both he and Natalie Portman's Padme were so darned wooden. Portman even told New York Magazine that originally no one wanted to work with her after the prequels, and it's not hard to see why.
You're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow.
Number 7, Will Smith, After Earth.
Danger is very real, but fear is a choice.
Look, Will, just because you're taking a back seat to give your son a chance to shine doesn't mean you can phone in your performance. Will Smith is one of the most notable examples of musical artist turned actor, and he's capable of a lot given the right material. Unfortunately, After Earth is not the right material.
I can see my blood bubbling up, mixing with the sunlight, shining through the water.
We're forced to endure his painful and cliched dialogue, but it wouldn't be so bad if he actually put in a modicum of effort. Unfortunately, he's about as charismatic as a brick wall, and poor Jaden doesn't fare much better.
That's an order.
Number 6, Johnny Depp, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Wasn't that just magnificent?
Johnny Depp is one eccentric dude, but you can't deny that he's a good actor when he wants to be. However, when it comes to Willy Wonka, there's just no competing with the genius that was Gene Wilder. Depp's performance as Wonka was just weird.
Now, everyone enjoy yourselves, but just don't touch anything, okay?
Yes, we understand that Willy Wonka is supposed to be an odd and subtly sinister man, but Depp's performance comes across as a little too try-hard, and it results in annoyance rather than childlike wonder. While some may enjoy Depp's overly kooky take on the character, others believe he was way too irritating, ourselves included.
Oh, I don't care.
Number 5, Jeremy Irons, Dungeons and Dragons.
I can use every ounce of your rage.
Like Kingsley appearing in a video game adaptation, we have no idea what Jeremy Irons was thinking when he agreed to be in Dungeons and Dragons. The film was based on a property that's famous for its freedom of player choice, something that doesn't exactly translate well to the big screen. And a first-time filmmaker was directing it. All signs pointed to it not being very good. And it wasn't.
Let their blood rain from the sky!
We have a theory that Irons knew the movie was gonna suck, so he decided to go for broke and give us one of the most outlandish, overacted bad guys in recent memory. Or it was just terrible directing. We hope it's the former.
But this time, Damodar, don't fail me.
Number 4, Al Pacino, Jack and Jill.
This must never be seen by anyone.
Al Pacino is the man behind Michael Corleone, Tony Montana, and Frank Serpico, just to name a few. Here, he plays himself in a movie where Adam Sandler dresses in drag and talks in a silly voice.
Do I have to play this weird game?
It's not weird. Jill, it's in you.
We don't know if he was forced to make this movie at gunpoint, but that would certainly explain his presence. As disappointed as we are in Al, we'd be lying if we said that watching him flirt with Adam Sandler wasn't kind of fascinating, at least in a cringe-inducing way. Nevertheless, this has gotta be a low point in Mr. Pacino's esteemed career.
Can you do me a favor and not hold me like this?
All right, I'm just trying to show you.
Number 3, Marlon Brando, The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Who has done this?
While we're on the subject of low points of Hollywood greats, let's discuss The Island of Dr. Moreau. It stars Marlon Brando, one of the best actors ever. He was Terry Malloy, Vito Corleone, Stanley Kowalski, and Colonel Kurtz. And here, he's playing an oddball doctor who's creating humans out of animals.
I understand that I must be shocking to you.
Brando plays Moreau as so distant, strange, and unlikable that we can't connect to him in any way. Of course, considering Brando's daughter committed suicide during the film's production, it isn't that surprising that his mind often seems elsewhere.
I have seen the devil in my microscope, and I have chained him.
Number 2, Robert De Niro, Dirty Grandpa.
Whoops.
We think we can all agree that Robert De Niro is in it solely for the money at this point, right? Dirty Grandpa certainly isn't the first terrible movie that De Niro curiously appeared in.
Are you talking to me?
Remember The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle? However, the way his career is going now, it doesn't look like it'll be the last either.
How long have you been teaching golf?
Ever since I retired from being an astronaut. It's nice to see some heavenly bodies around here, too.
De Niro's perpetually horny senior takes outrageousness and crudity to a whole new level throughout this movie. And it is very clear that he gives zero craps in doing so. What happened to Vito Corleone and Travis Bickle?
You talking to me?
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions.
It's my rules. My rules that keep us alive, and if you want to stay in this house and on this team, you will abide by them.
This is no partnership.
You are so fresh and so clean. Don't fight it.
Number 1, Gary Oldman, Tiptoes.
I was stupid to think anything could be different or change.
It's a bit of a joke on the internet that Gary Oldman can transform into anyone. His performances are always so good, and his makeup and costumes so convincing that he can disappear into any role. However, we suppose he can't transform himself into Matthew McConaughey's dwarf twin brother.
Are you and Steven blood brothers?
Yeah, you could say that. We're twins.
This movie follows Kate Beckinsale and McConaughey as they argue about whether or not they can have a dwarven baby. And did we mention that Gary Oldman plays a dwarf? Even if he was good, the entire concept of this movie is just too ridiculous to take seriously. And believe us, it desperately wants you to take it seriously.
I'm getting out of here.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.